Hi Anti-Society, welcome back to the Antisocial Planet, and today we are checking out a new Dreamcatcher song, Over the Sky, which I'm pretty sure is actually on one of their albums later, but chronologically it comes out at this point in how I'm going through the music, which confused me, but people have helped me on my journey of making sure I don't miss songs. I think this is like Full Moon, where it was an anniversary song that they released, and that's why it fits in now chronologically, but it is gonna like come up on one of their albums later on. I don't know. I'm letting you guys hold my hand through this journey, and I'm just listening and making notes. So we're gonna check out this one before we get into the End of Nightmare and Piri, which I always want to pronounce in a different way, but I'm like not confident in my pronunciation or what the context of that song is, but we'll get to that. Today we're gonna check out this one. I'm just gonna check out the special clip with it. I'm not gonna check out lyrics first because usually special clips don't completely overwhelm me and we're not gonna get into storyline stuff, I don't think. So hopefully my brain is okay with this and we can just check out the whole song together, which I feel like probably the length of this video is probably a hint that that's what we're doing, because it's not going to be like half an hour long like my other ones. So let's get into this song and hopefully not get really emotional. Let's see where we're going to go with this sonically. We're in a playground, it looks like, of some kind. A park? Okay. Oh, I like the holding hands. Look at you smile. Ugh. Ooh, I like that move. Okay, I like the guitars coming in, the piano starting out. I like how they kind of start together and then they leave like holding hands and come back together. I like that little clip that we had of Yehyun, of her like little choreo that she did there. Oh my gosh, my brain is already malfunctioning. It's fine. Their smiles are all really cute. So like the guitar strums, I like it. Suaman. I was totally not reading lyrics, I just realized. I was too busy looking at them. It's fine. I'll read them now, I promise. Bass though. Ooh, okay. I like the like kind of darker vocal tones we're getting. The bass is really nice in this. I kind of like the almost like muted guitar we have here, because we kind of have like this burst of energy when the guitars first came in after the pianos, and then they're muted down, which is really nice in the mixing because it allows for them to have that like darker tone to their vocals without it getting like overpowered by the electric guitar. Because I feel like if you had the same energy electric guitar as that beginning part while they were singing, it wouldn't have balanced out properly between those two. So I really like the way they've muted all of the production down, and it allows them to have that like rich dark tone. It almost feels a little bit more close up between the audience and them singing, because it has that kind of lower in terms of like volume to their voices, and it doesn't have like this big burst of energy to their vocals. A little vibrato she has there. Ooh, I like the synths. Okay, the choreo there was so cute. The choreo is super cute. I love all the kind of like wings, especially like Over the Sky makes me think of like, especially like Fly High, because it's one of their songs too. So it's like this feeling of kind of in the choreo of like ascending above everything and kind of getting to be in your own world. I'm finding it very difficult to pay attention to lyrics, and I apologize. This is usually why I separate the things out. But we had like this feeling of like recreation and things like that, like almost like rebuilding yourself with the help of someone else, which I think is very in story with their journey as Dreamcatcher, because obviously they were Minx before and then they became Dreamcatcher. And if this is an anniversary song, it's like, oh, we've made it this long after reinventing ourselves, and we've only made it this far because we had fans who are willing to embrace us in this new image and help us like rebuild ourselves as people who like were fans of them before and wanted to see them continue their journey, and then new people coming in and loving the sound that they wanted to have, and the sound that, from what people have told me, fits them a lot better. I haven't like fully explored what their music was like and what they were like as a group previous to being Dreamcatcher, but it seems like this fits better with who they are, and it must be very affirming to have like people who are fans of you making the music that you originally wanted to make, especially after you've felt like you failed. So I feel like the feeling of the song really fits with that. Their smiles are very cute. The choreo here is very cute. I like seeing them happy. I feel like I've gotten so invested in storyline stuff that it's like it can get really heavy and also like cheeky at times, but it's nice to see them just like performing and having fun. Ooh. Oh, that's cute too. Okay, the choreo is super, super cute. I love it. It's like distracting me because I love the little details in it and the almost like ripples that go like across their formations. I love that energy lift there. It's like I was saying, where they were having this more subdued vocal before, so the guitars had to also be more subdued. But then this one, lots more energy, higher register, more of a like mixed tone to their voices. So you can have that lift in the guitars because you're having that lift in the overall energy with their vocals too. So I really like that. I like the, when I fly like over the sky was being literally in the lyrics, which I love how they set that up in just like the images in the choreo, even though that is like a literal part of the song that they're going to get to. I love that there was this kind of like foreshadowing to what the song was going to be about in the actual performance of it. Oh, she sounds wonderful. Gahyun, be kind to me. Her expressions are always so good. Xian. Xian's vibrato just hits me like every time she does it. It's super light, and I think that's why it contrasts so much with like the power that she can have in her voice, that when she has the vibrato, it's so light, it's so delicate, it adds this vulnerability into that voice, like right after the power that she has behind it, that the contrast between those two things just hits me directly in my soul. Like every time she does it, Gahyun's facial expressions are always on point. She's so much fun to watch perform. I love the overall like energy and topic of this song, of just like, together we're gonna like do all of these wonderful things and we're gonna have these wonderful memories, and because of that, they say like the shadows are gonna be like farther in the distance. We're gonna put distance between us and that darker time, and I think especially considering their journey, that must be really nice. It must be really nice to make it. I think this is like they got to 2 years, maybe, correct me if I'm wrong, being Dreamcatcher. So that's a lot better than a lot of groups. Like a lot of groups debut and they don't make it very far. And the members of Dreamcatcher know that a lot better than some other groups. They know what it feels like to get to debut and then have it fall apart. So I'm sure getting to this point where it feels like they're actually onto something and they can have like their feet under them makes them feel a lot lighter and makes them feel a lot more secure. And I've talked about before where I feel like their sound now, because I've listened to like their more recent stuff and then like their older stuff, I haven't like gotten the connection in the middle yet, but I feel like their music now, they feel so much more confident in themselves in a way that they didn't at the beginning. At the beginning, they had like, I don't know, there was this like, I feel like every group at the beginning like has something really to prove, but there was this like super, super strong determination in the way that they made their music that now it feels like there's a determination in a different way. Like there was almost like a determination to the point of desperation at the beginning of their music, whereas now there's like this determination to continue to get better and try new things and experiment and figure themselves out. I feel like that's more of it. It's more of a determination of discovery. And it has a very different vibe to the way they perform their music now. And I love getting to see that. I love that is someplace that they've grown to. But it's just nice to have this song that kind of acknowledges that they're getting to a point where they feel more secure and it doesn't have this feeling of it might be taken away at any second. So I feel like this is all, and I also feel like chronologically, even just going off their last album, it feels like they're getting more and more experimental in what they're doing. Like they're starting to shift out of their comfort zone, because I feel like Alone in the City had a bunch of different sounds in it, which is something that I've been talking with people in the comments about for my reaction to that, in a way that their previous music hadn't. So even at this point, they're starting to feel a little bit more like they can step out of their comfort zone and try different things. So I really like getting to see this as kind of a like bridge between those of them as Dreamcatcher, and not like through the lens of like a story or an album or whatever, getting to say like we've gotten here because we have people that are willing to support us through all of that. They're also it's just nice to see them like having fun. I can't be the only one who's just like, oh, I love just getting to see them have fun and perform, and it's not like deep in story, because I feel like I haven't watched any like live performances or anything in a while from them. Live performances are on Patreon if you want to watch some of them. I feel like I haven't, so the context I have of their songs is all like through this lens of this like really dark storyline, and I need to get back to just like watching them have fun, like dance practices and live performances, because I miss it clearly. Oh, I love the like promise. They have like their pinkies and they say promise in the lyrics. That's so cute. I'm definitely gonna have to like go back and watch this a bunch of times, because there's like little details. I'm trying to grab everything and I'm gonna miss stuff, but there's just like all these cute little details in the choreo that I just love. Is there a dance practice? Also, what's your favorite live performance of this? Let me know, because I want to check out all the things. I like the shoulder too. Yeah, okay, I knew that was coming. I was like, we haven't heard Dami yet. And I'm just like waiting for the moment where they reveal her and she comes through to wreck me, because it's gonna happen. Continue, ma'am. Okay, I didn't read any lyrics again, partly because I was dragged by her love that she brings into like this deeper tone. Again, contrast and energy for the song, but it's like, it's not like dark in a like melancholic way. Like her tone that she has when she raps has this very like grounded feeling that it feels like standing your ground. Like she doesn't have a like, I would say like an aggressive rapping style. Like I feel like some rappers just have this very aggressive, almost like battle rap kind of feeling. Like anyone who has done any of those like underground like rapping battles, like freestyle battles, they have a history of that. They kind of have like a more aggressive edge to the way that they rap. I feel like Dami has this very grounded, like standing her ground firmly in place feeling to the way that she raps that just I love the tone that she has, because I feel like it's different from other female rappers that I've heard. And she does these interesting ways of like pronouncing certain sounds that just have like this really unique flavor to them. I'm gonna actually read what she was saying though. I like the bob. Also, look at the cute smile. Okay. Okay. I was just gonna say, not fair to go from Sua to Xian for like my heart. Like it was like Dami, Sua, Xian. It's like they don't care about me. Second, love the spins in unison. There's something about a spin that people do in sync that just like makes my serotonin go up. Also, that note, the power vocal there. Okay. Oh, I love that. Oh, I love how it lightened up so much. I got shivers there. Love the like Pinky with the promise and then like coming together. Gio really will just like break your heart when she starts singing, doesn't she? I don't even know how I feel at this point. I'm too far down the rabbit hole that I'm just like, everything they do is brilliant. I just want to give them all hugs. I just want to see them happy. It's too late for me, you know? Like I'm here forever now. And I also love the idea of like when they said like we've always been together. I feel like that is one, like them with their fans, of saying like we were always meant to find each other and be together. But I think it's also like them as a group, because they've had to go through this all together. I know a couple of the members joined later, but they were still gambling with the fact that they were joining a group that was re-debuting. So they all kind of took a risk together and went through all of the growing pains of that. And then they've gotten to this point on the other side, or at least are starting to see that there is another side and that they might actually have found something that works. So they were kind of like always destined to get to this point. So I'm gonna let Gio give me shivers again now. Oh, that note change. Oh, I love that they all ended holding hands. The promise again. I love the note change that we had there. This is a really cute song. Like the choreo is really cute. The lyrics seem really cute. When I bothered to pay attention to them, I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry, okay? Lyrics are usually the last thing that I think about when I get into a new song. But I love there were some interesting things with like synths. I like changing of like the guitar tones in it too. Like it felt very guitar heavy. Maybe I was just paying attention to that. But they did a lot of different tones with the guitar. I love it. I just want to see more things about this song now. Super, super cute song. I think I'm obsessed with the choreo of it. I'm one of those people who like, one of the ways that I usually get into a new group is through the choreo. I see one of the members dancing to something that's like a clip from like a live stream, or I see like a live performance and the dance sticks out to me, and I usually end up like binge watching like dance practices which is a weird way to get into somebody's music, but that has happened a lot with some of my favorite K-pop groups. So I'm a little bit obsessed with the choreo of this. So if there is a dance practice, I would like to see it. Live performances, would also like to see it, because I just realized it's been so long since I watched one of those for Dreamcatcher, and that just seems like an injustice because I've checked out so many songs since then. So definitely leave me some of the suggestions. Give me some background maybe on the choreo too, like who helped out with it. I know some of the people, some of the names associated with Dreamcatcher's choreo, but I always like to give credit where credit is due. Overall, just a really cute song. Like, I loved their voices, sounded great on it. I loved the lyrics and the kind of the feeling of like wanting to like fly over so that they can meet each other again, like this feeling of almost ascending over everything, right? Because there's always going to be bad days, there's always going to be things that happen that you don't plan for, or obstacles. And I love the idea of like, well, we're gonna like fly over the sky, we're gonna fly above all of it where we can meet again, and like promise me that you'll always find a way to get to me there, because I feel like it fits with a lot of the imagery in Dreamcatcher songs of like stars and how that is like a point of light and how we can be together in like the night sky and stuff like that. So I really liked this. I hope you enjoyed watching that along with me. You can click this playlist to go into my previous reactions, or you can subscribe so you don't miss the next time I post a Dreamcatcher reaction. I will see you in the next video. Bye!